To start our show today, we will turn to the special education department.
Eli and Aiden are back with some new teachers for you to meet. This week, they are focused on some of our new special education teachers.
Good morning, Staples. I'm here with Mrs. Fainer in the special ed department, and we're going to ask her a few more questions about herself. So where'd you go to school, and did you teach anywhere else before this, or is this your first year teaching?
So I grew up in Connecticut. I went to UConn, where I got my master's degree in special education. And then after that, I decided that I wanted to teach in Massachusetts. So for the past 6 years, I've been a 12th grade special ed teacher in Hopedale, Massachusetts.
When did you know that you wanted to work in this area?
Well, I really enjoyed my past 6 years or so. I knew that I wanted to continue being a special ed teacher. I actually got married this summer, and my husband got a new job in Fairfield. We were looking for a job around here, and I was so excited to hear Westport was hiring. I came from a really small school, so I was really excited to see all the opportunities that were here at Staples.
What kind of things do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like to run. I like to do a lot of cooking, and I've recently taken up the hobby of interior decorating. So at the end of June I got married, and then we went to Hawaii on our honeymoon for 2 weeks.
All right, Ms. Fainer, thanks for doing this interview. Congratulations on getting married, and we hope you're adjusting well to the positions. I'm here with Ms. Olson, and we're going to ask her a few questions about herself. So where are you from originally? Where'd you go to school, and how long have you been teaching?
I'm originally from Greenwich, Connecticut. I went to school, my undergrad, Mercy College in Westchester, and my graduate degree I got here in Connecticut at the University of St. Joseph. And I've been teaching since 2001.
What drew you to special education, and what are your favorite parts about working in the area?
What drew me to special education is I have a twin brother who went through this system, and I don't know, I just always felt like I wanted to support him, and I just had a love of teaching. I absolutely love working in the field. I mean, you're working with the same students for over a course of like 2 to 4 years. You get to see them grow and become more independent.
What'd you do this summer?
This summer I spent a lot of time with my family, and of course many days at the beach and traveling.
And what kind of things do you like to do in your free time?
My free time, I like to spend time with my friends, family, and my son, and I really enjoy cooking and exercising.
So thanks, Ms. Olson. So nice meeting you, and we hope you're adjusting well to being here.
I am, thank you.
Good morning, Staples. We're here with Ms. Brennan in the special ed department, and we're going to ask her a few questions about herself. Where are you originally from? Where'd you go to school, and how long have you been teaching?
Well, I grew up right next door to here in Fairfield, Connecticut, and went to Providence College, got my master's at Fairfield University, and I've been a teacher for 9.5 years.
How do you like working in the special ed field?
I really like working in the special ed department here at Staples. I think this is a great school.
What'd you do over the summer?
I spent a lot of time at the beach, took a trip up to Saratoga to the races, tubing and kayaking, and a lot of time outdoors.
And what kind of things do you like to do in your free time?
I love to spend time with my family and friends at the beach, going out to eat. I love to read, and I like to run.
All right. So thanks so much for meeting with us, Ms. Brennan.
Thank you.
And we hope you're adjusting well to being here at Staples.
As always, we want to welcome all of our new teachers and hope they have a great experience here at Staples High School.
A few months ago, Mr. Honeycutt found a 10-year-old hard drive in his office. It had some old video on it of the last Staples construction, and he showed it to Reese, who thought he might be able to do something with it. Here's Reese to tell you more.
We are here live from the Staples parking lot, but this was not always just a parking lot. This actually used to be the site of Building 9, part of the old Staples construction, which used to have a little place called the Student Lounge, where students would go and kind of do what they pleased. We had a word with Mr. Woog, both in 2005 and 2015, about Building 9.
A lot of people walk by here every day and never notice these doors. This is sort of the dead part of the school. It's a pretty scary hallway, in fact. But when I was here in the late 60s and early 70s, this was the student lounge. It was underneath, still is, the 6th building. And somehow, don't ask me how, the students before us had gotten the administration to agree to have a lounge for seniors. As I recall, teachers were not allowed in there. There were jukeboxes and ping pong tables and chairs, and the radio station WWPT was down here. there was a printing press here, and stuff went on that by today's standards would probably not be allowed in any high school or even a private party.
So, Mr. Woog, as a student here at the high school, what was your favorite memory at the student lounge? Do you have a favorite?
It was the 1970s, and the lounge was off limits to teachers. I don't know how that happened, but we were in there. There was a ping pong table, jukeboxes, stuff went on there that would be unimaginable today. But we just figured, hey, this is high school. We can do it. It was a place to hang out if you had a free period, and probably if you didn't have a free period. It was wild. There was a time when a couple of kids sort of held up a bank. They pretended to rob the bank, and people in town said, wait a minute, why aren't they in school? Why are they fake robbing a bank?
Do you think today's students could handle the privilege of a student lounge?
Boy, that's a great question. I don't know. Today's students have grown up with so many pressures and so many boundaries on their behavior that when they're given some freedom, if the parents aren't there or something like that, a lot of them tend to go to excess. On the other hand, how are you going to learn responsibility if you don't take it? It's so hard to have that environment that let a student lounge be nurtured.
Right.
I feel badly that we don't have that type of environment today. I'm glad I grew up when I did, and in a way I'm really happy I'm not a kid in 2015.
Well, thanks for joining us, Mr. Woog. Thanks for letting us know about the student lounge, which was quite different here at Staples back in the day. Thanks for checking out Building 9 with us, and now back to the host.
Thanks, Reese. So don't throw out your old hard drives. They may have a story to tell someday.
Maddie and her group are up next with an interesting piece about women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM, as it is more simply called.
Good morning, Staples. Today I'm here with Ruby, the head of Women in STEM Club here at Staples, and we're going to talk a little bit about the club today. What is Women in STEM about?
So Women in STEM is a club that aims to address the lack of diversity amongst the STEM fields. And so what STEM stands for is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. You may also see the acronym as STEAM. This is like the newer version of it, and it's the same thing, it's just with arts added. And so there's a massive disparity between the amount of men in the STEM fields and the amount of women. 24% of STEM jobs are held by women, with 76% being held by men. And the reason that this is a problem is because it's not just exclusive towards women, but it's actually hurting the fields. It's hurting what's coming out of those fields. And those fields include big things like technology, medicine, mathematics, things that really matter to people and matter to our daily lives. And so with that lack of diversity, we have a lack of diversity of ideas. So if you're excluding a portion of the population, that could have been the portion that has that big thought that might help to cure cancer or some other issue.
So Ruby, what is the club trying to accomplish?
So our club is trying to help alleviate and kind of address the issues that leads to that disparity, that difference between the amount of men in the fields and the amount of women. And so what we're doing is we're going into the little situations that we don't really notice, but there's a cultural note taking place. There's something being said about what a woman looks like, what a male looks like, and what they look like in science. And so we're trying to make sure that we have equal representation throughout Staples of both images there, and we're trying to encourage some of the younger girls within the community to feel comfortable with the sciences and to feel like they belong, to give them examples of mentors and role models and things like that.
Why did you start this club?
I started this club because it was something that I realized I actually want to go into what's considered a STEM field. I'm interested in marine biology, and that's what I'm planning on pursuing after high school. But I was doing a lot of summer programs, and I work at the Maritime outside of school, and I was just doing what I loved, and I looked around and I realized all of a sudden that I'm the only girl here and that I was treated differently because I was a girl. And I felt like that I had managed to make it through this kind of laddered system that makes it hard for me to get to the place where I was, but I don't think that's fair, and I kind of wanted to take my position of where I'd gotten to be to make it easier for other girls.
When and where does Women in STEM meet?
So we try and meet at least once a month on Thursdays usually, and we meet in room 3010, so that's a science room. Our advisor is great, Miss Kasnick. She is a woman in STEM, and we don't meet exactly every Thursday or the same Thursday of every month. So if you're interested in just finding out information about the club or learning about when our next meeting will be in, please join the Women in STEM or the WINS Facebook group.
Thanks, Ruby, for meeting with me today. And now back to the host.
Thanks, Maddie and company, for that interesting piece. The world of women is changing rapidly, as we see with the presidential campaign. Women in the military and now women taking a leadership role in critical areas of knowledge. Good job.
Since the topic of women is popping up in the news these days, did you know that Miss Ginsburg and a group of our female students have resurrected the Staples dance team? Here's a piece to tell you a little more.
Hi, I'm Tess Davis. And I'm Elizabeth Hogan. And we're here trying to restart the dance team. So pretty much our style of dance is we're going to do more jazz routines with some elements of contemporary and hip hop.
Hi everyone, I am Miss Ginsburg and I am coaching the dance team this year. I'm really excited to get everything started up again, and it's not too late to come and join us. We meet after school on Thursdays from 2:30 to 3:30 in room 2032, and we hope to see you there. Thanks.
So good luck to Miss Ginsburg and her group. We hope to see the dance team at some of our future events.
Staples has had a share of performing artists, actors, and musicians over the years.
Few schools can top our drama and music programs.
Here's another one of our graduates to tell you about the candlelight and what it meant to her. You might remember her from her movie Curly Sue with Jim Belushi. Here's Allison Porter.
Hey there, everybody. This is Allison Porter, class of 1999. Happy anniversary to Candlelight. What an amazing concert to be a part of. I still remember to this day hearing Welcome Mule for the first time in the lobby and just thinking, this can't be high school students. These have to be professionals. And just being so blown away by the harmonies and how amazing it was, thanks to the amazing and beautiful Miss Lipson. I loved being a part of the Hallelujah Chorus. I still remember my part to this day. It's such an amazing and magical and special night. I wish I was there celebrating with you all, but I'm here in Southern California. I'm a singer-songwriter and a mom of 2 beautiful kids, and believe it or not, my album that came out last November was co-written and co-produced by none other than Drew McKeon, who I know you're going to hear from tonight. So the relationships I made at Staples have lasted a lifetime, and it's the most incredible school with the most incredible teachers, and I'm just so grateful that I was a part of such an amazing concert and such an amazing night as Candlelight, and I'm wishing you all the best and have a beautiful night. I wish I was there. I so wish I was there. So have an amazing time, and Merry Christmas.
So be sure to get your tickets to this year's Candlelight concert. It is the 75th year of Candlelight, and it is sure to be very special.
It's time for sports. And yes, it is time for the Klein Challenge. You have waited for this. It is Klein versus Dr. Landon. Here it is.
Good morning, Staples! Mr. Klein here with the one and only Superintendent of the Westport Public Schools, Dr. Elliot Landon. Dr. Landon, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Klein, and good morning, Staples.
Thank you so much for being on the show. It is great to have you here again, and it's greatly appreciated, but mostly for being kind enough to give me a rematch okay, and a shot at redemption after beating me last year.
No redemption, Mr. Klein.
No redemption. Okay, and in the spirit of full disclosure, just to remind everybody, we picked 4 games last year. Dr. Landon went 4-0. Mr. Klein went 3-1. It was a losing week for Mr. Klein and a winning week for Dr. Landon. Okay, we will get back to Dr. Landon in a minute, but first a quick recap of last week. Jordan Ragland went 3-0, winning on a Green Bay Packer Hail Mary last Thursday night. Mr. Klein also went 3-0. That would be a tie. Overall, the students are now 22-14. Mr. Klein is now 21-15, still trailing by 1 game. So, Dr. Landon, last year we learned you are a Jets fan.
Yes, sir.
I almost don't want to mention it because my New York Football Giants were not very good on Sunday, and the Jets came out on the winning end. Give me your overall assessment of the Jets season, and will they make the playoffs?
The Jets have struggled this season. It's been sort of mediocre. No, I regret to say they will not make the playoffs.
Ooh,
but then again, neither will the lowly Giants.
Dr. Landon, not a believer. Let's see how that actually plays out, okay? So moving away from football for just a couple minutes, okay? We learned recently that you are retiring after 17 years of being superintendent in Westport.
That's correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is going to be a tough paycheck to miss.
Very tough.
Very tough. Okay, ready? Let's talk a little bit about your retirement. What are you looking forward to? Okay, what do you plan to do in retirement?
I plan to be busy. One of the things I've enjoyed most is working with our teachers and administrators and other employee groups. So I've been certified at one of our local law schools to be a mediator. And I plan to be a labor mediator in my post-retirement years.
Awesome. Some people worried about getting bored in retirement. Any of those concerns?
Not at all.
Not at all. Good for you. Plenty of things to do.
I'll be thinking of you, Lenny. I'll never be bored.
What are you going to miss most about the job?
My interaction with staff and with kids. That's the best part of the whole job.
What are you going to miss least?
Board of Education meetings. Whoa, I hate those.
Yeah, that one was a little bit predictable, okay? What has been your greatest accomplishment in your tenure or something you have been especially proud of?
I think the staff that we have selected, administrators and teachers and other support personnel, I think that represents my greatest accomplishment. We have the best people you can find anywhere in any school system.
That is awesome. I'm going to agree with that. And is there anything that you wish you had been able to accomplish but couldn't or didn't?
Yeah, there are 2 things. One, we desperately need to redistrict our elementary schools and desperately need to expand the footprint of Staples High School.
Gotcha. Okay, appreciate your honesty. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my Barbara Walters moment in life. Okay, time to get back to some football, okay, and a little fun. Dr. Landon will be picking on behalf of the students so he can be the big hero as he was last year or end up as the GOAT, okay? However, I bet you don't mind that because you've developed a thick skin over the years.
Yes, that's
okay?
true.
As we did last year, Dr. Landon and I will each be picking 4 games, so there will be some slim pickings, and we have actually taken 3 games off the slate that had big spreads. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, great. Then Dr. Landon, give me your 4 picks for week 13 of the Klein Challenge.
Okay, first, the San Francisco 49ers over the Cleveland Browns. The New York Jets over the Tennessee Titans. The Cincinnati Bengals over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Chicago Bears over the Washington Redskins.
Okay. Dr. Landon is a believer. He is going with his Jets and a little curious with that pick on the 49ers. I am going to go in this direction. I am going to go with the undefeated Carolina Panthers over the Atlanta Falcons. A little worried about that one because they are due to lose sooner or later. I am going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the New Orleans Saints. I am going with the Arizona Cardinals on Thursday night over the Minnesota Vikings. And my lock of the week, I am going with the Denver Broncos over the Oakland Raiders. So, as we did last year, Dr. Landon, I'm going to ask you for your Super Bowl champion. Last year you picked the Seahawks. They were one play away from winning it, and Dr. Landon being correct. So who is your Super Bowl champion for the 2015-2016 NFL season?
The Arizona Cardinals.
He's going with the Cardinals. You heard it here first. Arizona Cardinals are the Super Bowl champions. Dr. Landon, I wish you all the best in retirement. Can you make sure there's a clause in your successor's contract that says they have to actually make an appearance on this show once a year?
Absolutely.
Okay? And you have to do us all a favor, okay? Can you call a lot of snow days this year? Okay, a bunch of delays, early dismissals. I mean, after all, what is the board going to do? Fire you?
Good point.
Right? Call a bunch of them, right? That would be terrific, okay? All kidding aside, best of luck to you. Much health and happiness in retirement. You are honestly a great sport. It's awesome that you're willing to be here. I think it's fun for everyone. I think most people don't realize you have this silly side to you. So again, thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure.
All right? That is it for week 13 of the Klein Challenge. Enjoy the games, the home stretch of the NFL season. Okay, we screwed this part up last year. We're going to get it right, okay? On 3.
See ya!
Don't forget, Dr. Landon is here to support the students, so you'll have to see if he brings another beat down on Mr. Klein next week.
That's our show, Staples. We hope you enjoyed it.
Period A will be back with their show next Wednesday.
And we'll have the final show of 2015 next Thursday.
Good morning, Staples.